ourselves. We are the mob. A little hot on the mic. We are Memphis Oval Bull live every Wednesday, 6 p.m. I'm your host, Ryan Holiday Patterson. Hey, make sure everybody coming in, make sure you hit the like button. You know the routine, we need that love. We all about growth over here, man. All about growth. We are doing great things before the camera, behind the camera. It's all about the mob. It's all about the team. And we can't get away from what we started this for, right? This was created for solutions and to address many issues that aren't being addressed within our community, right? Memphians, melanated people, it all transcends to the same issues that we're facing, right? That's why the bull is so powerful. That is the logo. All right, today's episode 34. Everyone knows the title. We're not going to delay things any more than they need to be. The untrained versus, or the untrained. It was going to be versus, but we went with and. The untrained and the untamed. The untrained and the untamed. Now, we automatically know what the untamed, who the untamed are deemed, right? The images we see on the television and on social media, and we click and we watch it. We like it. I don't like it, but I mean the majority of our people, the majority of Memphis, right? So, but many people are paid to deal with these things. Many elected officials, many teachers, many, they're untrained to deal with these situations. So you have untrained individuals dealing with untamed individuals, which makes for quite destructive city, as many people feel. But there's something to that as well, because the mindset of the Memphian and how we feel about our community, we all play a part in this. I want everyone to pay attention to that, be conscious of that. But yeah, we have untrained police officers, untrained teachers, untrained counselors, untrained elected officials, and most importantly, untrained parents and adults. All right? Those are the ones that, and I'm focusing on the things and images that tend to see and are trending. And I wanted to ask a question before we got into any video clips, because I want you all to pay attention to something, because I'm going to show you how untrained these people truly are, right? But how do you decide between someone having a problem, all right? You hear that? Someone having a problem and someone being a problem, all right? Chat mob, what it do? Make sure y'all hit the like button. All right, so how do you, determine who's who? All right? Because some people actually have a problem, right? And some people choose to be a problem. So before we touch into this, I want to allow everybody to get in. We're just 4 minutes in. All right, so I want to talk about the image of us, right? Before we get into the first clip, which is very, very important. I feel like within the city, right? Black man myself, been here for the majority of my life, right? For the most part, I've been here. We can all relate to this. The images I see in the media, on the news, on a day in and day out basis, they affect my mindset of the people that I'm around, the people I live with, the community that I live with. There's no denying that things are happening, but everyone isn't doing it. But just your mind, the feeling of, hey, when I go get some gas, I might get shot. Right? And what does that create? What kind of environment does that create? You have teachers, like I said, you have the police officers, they're all living here too and seeing the same things that we're seeing. We have EMTs, we have firemen, we have all of these people who watch the same news that we watch, who are on Facebook. These are all Memphians too. So how does that affect the mindset of the people that are overprotecting and serving and helping? When they see someone who looks like myself with a bald cap and a beard or whatnot, with kinky hair and melanated skin, it's hard to separate us all, right? Because the thing about melanated people, all right, is that we have unique features that no one else shares, right? No one else has the skin that we have. No one else has the hair type that we have on the entire planet. We are all kin, and image is everything in America. So when we're all being tied by the image, and it's the first thing that we do, we don't smell people, we see people. So you're associated by how you look. All right. So, and we can all agree that we even buy into the bull. That we buy into the image, right? That they sell us. That everyone who looks as we do is a violent person. And you should be fearful of one who looks like myself and many others who dwell in this city. So that's that. With that being said, so when you having, let's say I have an argument with someone at the gas station or at the grocery store who looks like myself, the first thought, the initial thought is that if I have an argument, oh, he might kill me. So my thing is, the first thing, not saying this is my thing, but I'm saying people like this is the thinking of Memphis. My thought is, so before he kills me, before he does something to me, allow me to harm him and protect myself and stay alive, because he is a threat. I see the images on the news. I know what we talk about at the water cooler. So my mindset, when I see someone and I have an altercation with them, we could just be an argument. People have arguments all the time. But this is an argument with a deadly person. So it's everyone's thinking it, even us, our own. So you see our own reacting to this, and what do we have? Senseless crime, senseless violence. Just people are just fearful of one another. Police are fearful of the people in here, right? Everyone's fearful. Everyone is on edge with like, hey, bro, I don't know. What you doing? You see young kids who look like your nephews, your sons, your grandsons, right? But you're still afraid. You're still afraid. Now, reverse this. Pack of, let's say, any race, Hispanic, Asian, whatever you want to choose, kids, that image is not embedded in your mind, no matter how violent they are. No matter how violent they are, and I have proof of this, because you all know who's walking through Midtown with an assault rifle. Nothing happened. It's the image. It's the idea of what you can do and who can do it. And like I said, we buy into it when we're speaking about our own kind. Now, goes back to my point. So I just wanted to make that very important point before we got to anything else. All right. For those of you who missed it, those of you just coming in, make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button too if you're feeling that good. Chat mob, and come on, join us in the chat mob. Don't just watch. We love feedback. I don't have all of the answers. Anyway, first clip I want to show you all about the budget and how the budget goes towards training. We're going to start the police officers. Tyree Nichols' situation put a great spotlight on Memphis. But it's not just police officers, like I said. But we're going to start with them in our first very, very short clip. But there's enough information in it.
A 2020 survey revealed that 71% of U.S. police agencies spend less than 5% of their budgets on recruit training. In Memphis specifically, the police department spent roughly $270 million in 2020, but only $15,500 went towards seminars, training, and education.
Let's take that back. Maybe you already need. Yeah, let's go. Because I know I did better in English than I did math, but damn, right? $220 million on budgeting for police, right? 15,000 went towards training. I mean, sometimes I have to elaborate a little bit more and kind of connect the dots with, people just coming in. But I know, do I have to say? I don't have much to say to that, right? $15,000 goes towards training. Now, these are the individuals they're constantly adding more and more police officers, right? Constantly adding more and more sheriffs, more and more, right? At least many of them are untrained. Fact. Right. Now, this is evidence. Do we need any more, right? So, yeah, for 6 weeks of police training, you can sign up. First of all, you got people signing up for the $10,000 added bonus. Then you got many of these people not from this kind of environment. You cannot tame the jungle with city civilians. You have to be of this city and of this nature to understand the people and not be fearful of them. Matt Black, what's up, man? What's good, brother? Appreciate you always joining us, man. Giving that good input, bro. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like 15,000 of $200 million going towards training. So how much of that is going? What are you buying? More guns, better cars, nice uniforms, nice hats, but no training. And this was not. I didn't get this clip from the local news, y'all. I said, exactly. That's the mindset. That's the mindset. Let me show this comment. All right, because we got to elaborate on this. Spoke to a melanated police officer. He was describing the situation on duty, right? I said he sounds like a person with mental illness. He said he grown. He know better. See, that's that same mentality of, hey, mom, I got a headache. My head's been hurting all day, mom. I don't know what's wrong. Go in there and go sleep. Get you a glass of water. Don't come in here complaining no more. You may have a condition, mom. Mom, my mind feels cloudy, mom. Boy, go in there and lay down. It's not how you handle it. And I'm not saying all of our parents are handling it this way, but those who are, look at the results. So, I got more for you. So that's why I said, the untrained and the untamed. So you got these individuals coming in for all of these budgets and all these extra bonuses. And so $10,000 just to be a police officer, right? Added, or just be a deputy. That's one bonus. And I did another story where it covered how many hours they're working. Some of these police officers are working 70 hours, over 70 hours a week. Right? So you got that, and you got someone likely from East Tennessee or all over surrounding areas coming here to work because Memphians do not want to be police officers. Memphians don't want to be police officers. They don't want to be deputies. They don't want to be any of that, right? So these people aren't from this environment. So how do you expect them to police? So you got someone that's probably dealing with a situation that's under has a chemical imbalance in their mind. All right. How you resolve that? Who would be better to access that besides someone from that community? That's why I'm telling you that we all should raise firemen, raise police officers, raise our own teachers. Because this all goes back to episode 1 when I told everyone about the solutions that I feel that we have to do as a community, right? Police our own community, right? Primarily, protecting women, children, and the elderly, right? Educate ourselves. That's second. Educate ourselves so that we can educate our children. Don't rely on the school system, right? Right. Thirdly, take back control of our dollar. And I'm just saying here, we can start here. We can start locally. We can start in Memphis. But power of the black dollar, man. It's just one of America's greatest assets. Yes, yes. And lastly, with all of these things that we do, we take control of our image. And therefore, we don't have to rely on the news and the media and the commercial appeal and WREG and whatnot to report things about us that we're doing. That we only believe that what we read and what we see. We should know ourselves. You shouldn't even rely on the news to get to know Memphis if you've been living here your entire life. Why are you relying on the local news to tell you everything that's going on? I'm not saying the news is the devil. I'm saying it's a tool, though, how you use it and how you view it. But I understand you watching news about Saudi Arabia. You've never been there before. But you're watching news about somewhere that you're from, that you've grown up your entire life. You don't understand that because you lack a community. You lack communication. You don't know what's going on right down the street. So you rely on a corporate company that's invested in placing fear inside of your mind. It's a business. We need you watching. And guess what, fellas? Ladies and gentlemen, you do not watch information. You don't watch informative things. You watch violence. You can't turn away. You like to hear about death. And they sell it to you. And what does that create? Fear. Oh, man. Oh, am I not going to get bread at the store? A man got robbed last night. Right. So you fear your own. Then they put the image of the person that did it, like I said, who looks just like your son. And that's just one aspect of it. Rap music that everyone loves also plays into the image. No, I did not hear about what Ice Cube said, bro, about rap music. Let me know about that, Black. Let me know about that. All right. Let's talk about this. This goes with the Untrained, right? The Tyree Nichols situation. One of the officers already, he pled guilty, but he has a history of dealing with Memphians. Check this out. They're going to bring up some points. That's why I said we have to police our own community, right?
Tonight, we're looking at newly released documents surrounding one of the former Memphis police officers charged in the beating death of Tyree Nichols. Hi there, good evening, and thanks for being with us. I'm Shay Arthur. WRG's Ashley Paul spent the day poring through hundreds of pages of Demetrius Haley's newly unsealed personnel records. And Ashley, what did you learn?
Shay, 800 pages of newly released documents focus mainly on the time Demetrius Haley worked for the Shelby County Department of Corrections between 2015 and 2020 before leaving to join the Memphis Police Department. And in that time, according to the documents, Haley was investigated at least 3 times involving 3 different incidents. An incident that left an inmate with a fractured temporal bone and a perforated eardrum. Another where confidential information was shared with an inmate. A situation involving a strip search. And another which led to a lawsuit. These are all details we're learning tonight after a judge ruled to unseal Demetrius Haley's personnel records. Nearly 800 pages of documents, reports, photographs, forms, and files, all leading up to the January 7th beating of Tyree Nichols, which led to murder charges against Haley and 4 other former Memphis Police Department officers. But before Haley was a police officer, he was a prison guard for the Shelby County Division of Corrections. In 2015, Haley was accused of using excessive force on an inmate. A report by the Shelby County Sheriff's Office Internal Affairs Unit states, the inmate stated he was sprayed with a chemical agent and he blacked out, which was the last thing he recalled until he woke up in the main building medical department, going on to say the inmate stated he was choked by an officer and punched. He has a swollen left eye, end quote. It goes on to say Haley was the one who sprayed it, but an investigation found no violations of the use of force policies. The inmate later filed a lawsuit against Haley and 2 other officers, accusing them of punching him and slamming his head to the floor.
So in other words, he was being abused and targeted by these 2 police officers. I don't know if he's a police officer. I think he was just working at the prison at this time. Nevertheless, though, he was being targeted, and he filed. See, everybody's like, you have to use your voice and say something. Don't let them get away with it. But when we do, look what happens. Look what happens. Now, if he gets out and decides to go on with his criminal activities and continue to shoot people up and rob people out of anger because he doesn't believe in the law system, the justice system, because when he was incarcerated, he was being tortured and beaten half to death. What kind of environment does that create? The one that we're living in, with the things that we see.
Floor. The lawsuit was later dropped. But in another incident, Haley was found in violation of the department's ethics and conduct policy for giving confidential information to an inmate. A disciplinary hearing notice in the file said, quote, Officer Haley stated and admitted the inmate informed him of his intention to bring in contraband from the hospital, and Officer Haley failed to report the incident, end quote. He was given a written reprimand and recommended to get refresher training on the policies. A separate incident in 2016 accuses Haley of using force during a contraband search. Documents reading in part, quote, Officer Haley took him to the floor and he hit his head on the floor, causing injury, end quote. The documents explain the inmate tried to hide contraband in his mouth and hit Haley in the shoulder with his elbow. The investigation found Haley's use of force was justified in this incident. Now, Haley's lawyer was not immediately available for comment on the released file. Haley has pleaded not guilty to murder charges in the beating death of Tyre Nichols. I'm Ashley Paul, WREG News, Channel 3.
So you all can see, this wasn't his first time. He had a history of that. Very, very ignorant. Very out of touch with how to deal with the people. But he looks just like me, all of us. He looks like my friends, my cousins, my family. But look at how he acted. All right? Look at that. Lacks understanding, lacks training, lacks to even know the history of his own kind. May not even have any respect for it. But all right, I like this, right? The comment is, I'm sure, in order to police our own community, we have to discuss this no snitching concept. Now that is coming about. That's coming. That is on the way. That's a major show topic because I always talk about that. That is a street code, and we're talking about civilians, bro. That's just something bank robbers say when they run a heist. Hey, no snitching. Everybody shut up. Don't spend any money. That's what they do. You a regular civilian, bro. Don't make me get the civilians are the people that criminals avoid. So no snitching only goes for gangsters. But the real reason behind the no snitching in our community is because fear of protection, lack of protection, something that we need to provide. Before we can ask the people to say, hey, what happened, or why did this go on, or just, call us at some, neighborhood watch. Before you can have a neighborhood watch, first you need a neighborhood and the community first. But you also got to have those people comfortable enough to make that call. Because even the Young Dolph situation, right? I'll go back to it. Tragic situation. We still mourning that, like I always say. But one of the first things that happened in the beginning, I think someone made a phone call that gave a tip about where the car was located. And a day later, someone died. Someone died on this same street. So what does that create? And nothing else was heard about what happened to them. So people aren't stupid. They're like, hey, I'm not getting involved in that because I see no benefit from it. We have to let them understand the benefit of a safe community, and you play a part. See, my thing is, this is why I always preach individualism and what's going on within. And I'm always talking about a fertile mind, right? We'll get to the fertile mind, and that's what we're going to close the show on. But yeah. So many of our people don't know the history, and many that do choose to be silent. So I know people say silence is a deadly weapon, but when it comes to us and speaking about our history and where we come from and where we're heading and what we're trying to do as a whole, silence is a very, very deadly weapon, the deadliest of weapons. So can't have inactive people. Idle minds, idle hands, inactive people, not contributing towards the cause, right? And like I said, many of our police officers, firemen, and all of them, they're all from here, so they have the same outlook on Memphis as the people that you see that are doing the terrible things to. It's like everyone's all on the same accord. Everyone's in fear of one another. And we all fear each other. Like, where are the good people? It seems like everybody's I'm riding around with it. I gotta keep it. You hear people that would never speak about violence talking about, man, I gotta keep it on me in Memphis. You know how it is here. Nah, you're contributing to it. You play a part. I know you're calling yourself protecting yourself, but that mentality of, hey man, I could die at any minute, and if I get into an argument with somebody, it could be a traffic altercation, right? Somebody get over on you without signaling. You feel like it's a life or death situation, right? You don't even honk the horn. People might get their car. You might let somebody hit your car because you feel like if you honk the horn, you might get shot because of what you saw in the news. Not because of what you saw with your own two eyes. And you live here? So you mean to tell me the news camera crews understand the city and the news reporters who aren't from here understand Memphis better than you do? Okay. All right. Let them tell you everything and let them think for you about your own kind, and we see the results. Everyone's in fear and everyone shooting one another. All right, so we started with the cops. We started with Tyre Nichols, the officer. He has a history of doing this. We see that. All right. Now, the teachers are also untrained. The guidance counselors are very, very untrained. And some people think underpaid, but, that's another debate. So, but I do agree with what they're doing with the teachers. Now, with the Memphis City Schools, they have a program where they have the teachers and they understand the first-time teachers what they're going to. So they get them better prepared than the Memphis Police Department. And you think about this. Firemen undergo a very strenuous, evaluation test before they can be firemen. Right? Shouldn't police officers be under the same kind of testing? They both deal with saving the public. Like the same kind of testing that paramedics and EMTs have to go through. Nurses and all of these people that work in them. Shouldn't they be under the same kind of watchful eye? Look at the results. Look at what happens when you don't do it, right? Let's get to the teacher. But look, check this out.
A lot. Well, when it comes to education, not all children learn the same way, so teaching methods are often different.
That's right. And in Tennessee, we faced a shortage of teachers, pandemic setbacks, the third grade retention law, and in Memphis, Shelby County Schools, a superintendent search. So how does all of this impact teachers? Our Brittany Moncrief spoke with two first-time MSCS teachers. And Brittany, what successes and challenges have they experienced this year?
Well, Rudy and Pepper, the pandemic really opened our eyes to what teachers face on a daily basis. And Relay Graduate School of Education, a nonprofit that develops new teachers and helps in that support. Now, we spoke with first-time teachers as they reflect on their first year with Memphis Shelby County Schools.
Teaching is no easy task. Every child learns differently.
And to meet that need, support is key. Relay Graduate School is a nonprofit institute building up the next generation of teachers in districts such as Memphis Shelby County Schools.
We work closely with them for people that they recruit, and we work closely with them to try to retain them by giving our teachers the strategies, tools, processes, and resources necessary to meet the needs of their students every day.
That comes in handy for first-time MSCS teachers Geraldine Carmichael, a third grade teacher at Oakshire Elementary, and Rochelle Solomon, who teaches special education at Avon Lennox High School.
Instead of the child adapting to the way that I teach, I adapt to the way that the students learn.
You hear that? Who adapts to who? Should the police officers adapt to the alleged criminals? Or should the criminals adapt to the police officers? You have all of the ammunition. You have backup. You have a walkie-talkie. You have a gun. And I'm not against police officers. I'm against the ignorance that we're doing and all this that we're hearing about and creating more fear. Police officers being fearful of people that they're pulling over, people that their houses they're going to. I know it's a dangerous job, but you signed up for it, and we do appreciate the ones that do their job right. You know what society would be without police? Come on now. We all know. But like I said, we need police with the right mindset and knowing what they're getting themselves into. All right? All right. Go back to the club.
We do community-based instruction, and we also do work-based learning. So we take our students outside of the community.
I've seen a couple different challenges as far as teaching and what they faced with COVID. Some of it has just been learning to get along with other students.
Then there's the third grade retention law that requires third graders to repeat the grade or go to summer school if they don't pass the 10 Ready reading test.
We've really been focusing on making sure, even in my science class and even in our math and our ELA classes, of course, that students bringing literacy into those different subjects.
Both Solomon and Carmichael say Relay helped them to adjust to a reshaped educational environment.
It's really given me the tools as far as learning to lesson plan and really learning to manage a classroom.
They know how to build a culturally responsive environment for students.
The lesson plans that they've taught us, the scenarios and role plays that they do with us is awesome.
And Relay administrators said when it comes to challenges outside the classroom, such as the Memphis Shelby County Schools search for a new superintendent, they teach their educators to focus on what they can control, which is their classroom and how students' needs are being met.
Brittany, thank you.
So they cater to the students, right? Don't we feel that if you are a teacher, principal, whatever, police officer, and you're in Memphis, don't you need a particular kind of set of guidelines for Memphis? Because we're unique. Like I always say, we needed a unique, like our mayor that had the most results that we had, Willie Harrington, had a unique approach to things, no nonsense. But it translated the energy, translated throughout the city. All right. So it's not, we can't be dependent on these teachers. The teachers, they're still trying to figure everything out, y'all. They're still trying to figure out how to educate your child, this child, that child, with these unique, everyone has a different situation going on. So how does this just hit it? But you, on the other hand, you know your child. And if you don't have anything to teach your child, I suggest you pick something up, man. And, we'll stay with the mob because we're all doing this together. And I'm not speaking individually to anyone. I'm not holding myself. I'm holding myself accountable. I'm holding everyone accountable. And there's also a challenge I want to give to everyone who watches the mob, everyone who clicks the videos, right? What are you doing? Like I always ask that. I always want to know. Chat mob, y'all can talk. I know some of you all personally, I know, but some of you I don't know, right? What are you doing to help? You just can't sit around and just talk about the issues and not do anything. We need more hands-on people. We need more soldiers, right? We need more activity. What are you doing? I know we like to watch, we hear these things because we're drawn to the negative, but what are we doing on a day in and day out basis? Are you contributing to the problem? Or are you fixing it? There's no in between. And listening is not fixing. Watching is not fixing. Talking is not fixing. Just something to think about. We always talk about everyone else, but we never really look in the mirror at ourselves, right? And the role that we play in many of these issues that we're facing in this city. Make sure y'all coming in, make sure you hit the like button. But yeah. Right, parents who don't spend time reading with their kids during COVID, they hurt they hurt the kids. It's all about us. We are waiting on a Savior, and the Savior is within you, within us. All right? It is within us. And we're going to get to that because everybody loves Vegas, right? Everybody loves Las Vegas. If you haven't been in a while, you're just not conscious of where you've been, right? Let's get to this. Got another clip for you all. Now, I want to talk about my boys. It's been a minute since I talked about my guys in Detroit. But like I said, Memphis, this show caters to Memphis, but many people from all over, they rock with the mob. And they still watch. And I rock with many others in other towns too. So New Era Detroit did some charity for their city, for their people on Black Friday. Y'all check this out. This is inspiration. This should be world news, but it's not. It's not. Check it out, but it's mob news.
All right, next door.
Shout out to Big Zeke.
It's gonna be a faster process. It's cool. If it's a double bed, I'm saying. You said double bed too?
Thank you. You're welcome.
I'm just gonna sit this right here.
They rented an entire hotel out on Black Friday for the homeless people in Detroit. That's what you do, man. Don't tell me what we can't do and what's not going to happen at the mob or what's not going to happen in my city. Don't tell me. I see it happening. It's focus. It's all about the people caring and getting behind it. They have the people behind them. People feel safer. I don't know about what the numbers are saying about the crime in Detroit, but I see these brothers. They doing some, man. They making changes. Check this out, though. And watch who's in the building. Look who's going in. It's a black city, bro. When you have a homeless issue, you have a homeless problem, it's your own kind. All right? Think about this.
Okay, thank you so much.
Little pristine, gotta make it look right, man. Gotta make it look right for the people, man. You know what I'm saying? New Era Detroit, man.
Little gift bag there. Who is that, y'all? Didn't think many people needed that kind of help, did you? You'd be surprised while you out shopping on Black Friday, right? What these folks was doing for their own. They weren't just talking about the problems. They were trying to fix it. Solutions. Solutions. If you're going to copy anybody, this is who you copy. All right?
My name is Janelle Jake.
Look at the children. Trust me, man. Look, we do not accept these things unless we need them. People got to be in need. Black Friday for a place to stay, bro. And these kids will remember this for the rest of their lives, man. they'll remember this for the rest of their lives, man. The brother Zeke gonna be good in his latter years. He'll be well taken care of. And I'm sure that's not his reason for doing it, but I mean, everything that you put out in the universe eventually comes back to you.
No, they're taking
And, I mean, look at this. Like I said, I'm gonna keep cause I just love seeing this, right? Our own helping our own. We ain't begging nobody for nothing, but we're capable. Look at this. You know how much money circulates in Memphis from the business owners and those are the community leaders. Those are the people that could do something. Those are the people that can contribute these kind of things. They at the Rock, we need organization. And many of me and myself and many of my friends and my peers and whatnot, we're trying to do this for this city. But don't tell me it's not possible. I hear the hopelessness, and I don't like it because I don't agree with it.
It's good.
And so, hey, if y'all don't know, Casino 901, you going to be on the grill, bro. I don't know if you know it or not. Go and crank that grill out, but we going to need this very soon for the city, man. And I know lots of barbers. You know what I'm saying? We need all of that, bro. Get the mindset. Don't think it's going to be, I don't know when it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow, next week, next month, but this will be happening soon because we're making the moves right now.
Yes, there's a lot of time solid. Not even, maybe about. That's a good start.
See the iridescent color on it?
Giving the children experiences, right? Show them that somebody cares about them, bro.
I don't even see that reflection on it.
Look, touch his skin. It's so soft. Look how they turn their heads. It's like,
Look at her eyes.
wow.
Say cheese, man.
Because of your love and because of your grace, I know things were getting better again.
I'm gonna say this too. Like we see so much of the negative, right? And I think we're just unaffected by it. We might have to cut the show short because, like I said, I keep running into this issue with the camera power. Anyway, we see so much negative, right? That we're not affected by things we see. But when you see something positive with our people, right, does it not affect you? Like seeing it, hearing the sister singing and seeing all the kids happy, like that's not a movie, not scripted. It just hits you differently, right? Because you don't see it that often. Us, our own people, helping our own people. Not saying we don't do it, but it's not promoted. I would never say that we don't do it. I know what I do, and I know things that I do don't come on the news. Things that many of my peers do, they're not being reported. There isn't an agenda of the things, why you're seeing the things that you're seeing. Not saying that they're not happening. We know crime happens, but good things happen too, and good people do great things. But for some reason, just doesn't make your radar. Maybe you should change your radar, right? You ever think of that? I always question the source. All right, for sure, for sure. And Run Memphis in the building. Shout out to the squad. Run Memphis, future millionaires. All right. I got one more thing. So, like I said, because I don't want this, I don't know if this is going to happen because we're having a few little. But yeah, I want to talk about what I'm here to do is to stimulate your vagus nerve, right? In your body, right? Everyone loves Las Vegas, but Las Vegas is within you. And remember, I talked about the fertile mind. I don't want this to die, so I got to hurry up and get to this clip. Check this out, y'all. Remember, I talked about fertile minds and infertile minds last week. This is the mob. We stay on one accord. Please stay with us. Check this out. Sister was on Oprah Winfrey Show.
What's the vagus nerve and how does that help us to heal?
So the vagus nerve is the main nerve in a part of our body called the parasympathetic nervous system. And that nervous system's job is to help us emotionally regulate so that when we have been distressed, upset, angry, afraid, it activates to bring us back into a state of peace and calm and rest. What's incredible about it is it actually forms a tree in our bodies. And so in Genesis chapter 2, there is a description of the creation of humanity. And it says that a garden is planted eastward in Eden. So I always like to tell people, just stick your left arm out. That's the east side of your body. Place your hand on your heart. There's the garden, planted eastward in Eden. And it says a river flowed into that garden. And when it left, it split into 4 rivers. Our aorta comes out of the heart and splits off into 4 rivers. This is literally the Garden of Eden planted in us. So if a seed was planted there, the roots would grow down into our belly. The trunk would grow all the way up, and there'd be a fruit on the top. There's literally a tree in the center of the garden within, a tree of life. And that is what we call the vagus nerve.
Wow.
And when it's activated, it heals us. It brings us calm. It brings us connection. It takes us to our spiritual spaces. It also slows our heart down, regulates our blood pressure, balances our blood sugar. So our emotional and physical health are linked to this tree of life in the middle of our
All right. I'm back. I'm back. Y'all understand this, man. We do this, how hard it is doing this thing live like this, man. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy chore. But yeah, cameras get hot. Things happen. You know, it's a hot show. It's a hot show tonight, man. So yeah, I appreciate everybody rocking with us, man. We'll be back next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Shout out to the squad. Oh, make sure y'all check out, man. Dr. Brooks, WLOK, has a great show. If you're in your car, make sure you tune in to WLOK. Put it on. Great music. He is definitely we're on the same accord. And it was just one or two of many in this city that are trying to rebuild it. Everybody coming in, make sure you hit the like with your late asses. We still appreciate you, though. It's the mob, man. And yeah, man, we're just a herd of bull. Remember that, though. All of these things are going to be touched back on next week. But yeah, I don't want the camera to go out on y'all again. I don't want it to get too hot. I'll make sure next week that it's not going to get hot. We'll be able to continue our show peacefully without the powers that be getting involved in our business. So yeah, like you said, man, Memphis over Bull. And like I said, you know the rules. You know what we said, about rebuilding our community. Police our own community, right? Educate ourselves so that we can educate our own children, right? Take back control of that dollar and our spending habits in our community. And then lastly, we do all of these things, we take back control of our image. That being said, it's the mob. We out. See y'all next week at 6 p.m. I'll let you boy.